All right, here we go. Hey, everybody. Greg Griffin here. I'm going to go quickly, I hope, with the Harnett County Schools mentor refresher per request from the lead mentor session that we had last week. Here is the mentor refresher to go for the 2018-19 school year. And let's get started. This is for, by the way, for mentors that have been assigned beginning teachers to mentor. This is not mentor training for potential mentor teacher candidates. We will give you those face-to-face dates. We have those on the calendar. I'll be sending those out to you very soon. If you know somebody that wants to be trained to be a mentor, we will have those dates after school face-to-face during the month of September. There are some changes that I want to talk about real quick. Previously, there have been people in my position and the positions of my colleagues that I'm getting ready to introduce you to, known as beginning teacher coordinators. Those positions are no longer with us. We've restructured, or we're in the process of restructuring our support for beginning teachers and international staff and such. We are now known as recruitment and retention coaches. And there are four of us, and I'm going to introduce you real quick. Alicia Washington is going to be serving the Triton High School attendance area plus Harnett Central Middle School. Now, your first point of contact would be the lead mentor at your site. That's not going to change, but we will be glad to help you as well. You'll be seeing us in and out of the schools and such, and we're always here to help you if need be. Okay, so Alicia Washington. And then we have Carol Blaylock. She has been serving as the recruitment and retention coordinator, but she'll also be doing some coaching in the Harnett Central High School attendance area minus Harnett Central Middle School. And she'll also have Star Academy. Then we have Courtney Hatley. Courtney is going to be serving the Western Harnett High School attendance area plus Anderson Creek Primary minus Highland Middle. And this is subject to change, but this is the way that we have it divided up right now. And finally, me, Greg Griffin, I'm going to be serving the Overhills High School attendance area minus Anderson Creek Primary plus Highland Middle School. So we've got it divided up very strategically. The Human Resources Department has worked hard to divide this up strategically for maximum effectiveness. All right, so we're all in this together, and we're all here to help you and to help you help your beginning teacher that you've been assigned. All right, so I just thought it'd be good to just go back to what is a mentor by definition. What does it mean to mentor? What is a mentor? And I went to Merriam-Webster and discovered number one does not apply. That's from Greek mythology, I think. But number two is very interesting, I think. The word that kind of jumped out to me there was trusted. A trusted counselor or guide. It's very important that we build and maintain trust between ourselves and the beginning teacher that we're trying to coach and work with. Trust is important in any relationship, but the beginning teacher has got to trust you so that they can be honest with you, for one thing, about what's going on. So just let trust sort of guide everything between you and the teacher. Getting to know them, building a relationship with them, just like we do with our students, is very important when we're trying to work with them and help them. So we want to be the counselor and guide that they need, but we're going to have to build that trust initially to be effective in the counseling and the guidance. Real quick, when it comes to working with anybody that's new to anything, feedback isn't necessary evil. I guess you could call it evil. A lot of people would. Feedback is important, but we want to give feedback, but we want to move away from just giving feedback all the time into a coaching relationship, which this chart I think is great. For you might want to take a few minutes to kind of look at it and spend some time with it. For example, with feedback, you're constantly just telling somebody what to do and giving them advice. You know, you go in, you observe them, and then you meet with the teacher and say, I would do this, and I would do that, and I would do this, and I would do that. And that can work and it has its place, but sometimes it's better to just ask a series of questions with the hope that the teacher that you're asking the questions to will arrive at the solutions on them by themselves. Or, we want to lead them to making the best choice, sometimes by asking a series of questions. Sometimes I'll go in after observing a teacher and just say, tell me what you think worked well today. And sometimes just having that two-way communication, they'll arrive at answers themselves, and then you're not risking hurting their feelings by just giving cold feedback all the time. Focusing on future behaviors is also something that we need to think about when we're coaching teachers instead of what just happened. It's important to look back and be reflective, but we also want to look ahead to what's coming. And then providing them with options is also good. Choice is a motivator. Whenever we can tell them these are here are some potential options, give them choices for what they could do to make their lesson better with their classroom management or whatever it might be. And with feedback, the giver is motivated to change, not necessarily the receiver. We want the receiver to be self-motivated to take responsibility for their own actions in their own career and find their own answers. So just a couple of thoughts about coaching versus feedback. Here's a little cartoon I just threw in here. We've had a pirate theme going on. You may have noticed, or you might notice throughout the school year. Here's a first-year teacher being forced to walk the plank. Only half of the cartoon is revealed right now. But if you reveal the other side, you see with the mentoring, there you are, mentors in the water floating around. Looks fun. With some good mentoring in place, it can be far less scary for first-year teachers, and that's what we want to do this year in Harnett County Schools. We want this to be the best year ever for mentoring our beginning teachers, and I think we're in a place where we're going to be able to make it happen together. A few tips for mentors. I'm going to go quick. I'm going to try to respect your time. Get to know your mentee. Build a relationship with them just like you would your students. Have discussions about things that don't have anything to do with education. Sometimes when you drop by their classroom or you see them after school, just ask them, how are things going? What are some of your interests? What's going on? Talk to them about things outside of school and build that relationship. That'll build that trust that we need to be an effective guide and counselor. Be an encourager. We all love the encouragers in the school, the people that you love to see coming. Be positive, be optimistic. Mentors are very much coaches. You can do it. We're cheerleaders, all of the above. So just praise them when it's appropriate. I think I might have that in another bullet point, but be an encourager. Try to find some ways for the mentee to observe you teaching. That's awesome. I can't begin to express to you how effective that can be, and we're hearing that from the beginning teacher surveys that they don't think they're having enough opportunities to observe master teachers in action. We're going to try to help you create some of those opportunities. We will be available to co-teach for the BTs to observe. You can reach out to us for that, and we can try to set that up. But finding ways for them to observe you and other master teachers in action, I think, is invaluable. The Oreo technique when you're given feedback is to begin with a positive, present the challenge in the middle, and end with another positive. So positive, challenge, positive, instead of just coming in with a list of things that need to be fixed, because that can be very overwhelming for BTs or anybody. So sometimes it's best to work on one thing at a time instead of presenting them with a list of things that need to be fixed. Starting with a positive, hey, I really like the way that your Kahoot went, whatever it might be. And then with the challenge, how did you think it went when you tried to have the whole class discussion? That might be where some problems popped up, that kind of thing. Making it more conversational instead of them just listening and furiously scribbling down the critiques would be better. Let your principal know when the BT's doing good things. A lot of times, I know we're all guilty of letting the principal know when they're not doing great things, but let them know about the good things that they're doing when they get something right. Avoid criticizing the BT in front of your coworkers. That's really important. We've all been guilty of this in the past when we're tired and we've had a bad day and stuff like that. But that's part of building the trust and maintaining the trust is what stays in Vegas or what stays in the classroom. What happens in the classroom stays in the classroom mentality, or between you and me when we're debriefing wherever we go to debrief. Help them stay on top of their mentor log. This is something that BTs get overwhelmed with quickly, and then we're all trying to remember what date we met when we talked about this and that. If we have the log digitally, which is what we want you guys to do, we want the logs to be in Google Drive where the mentor and the mentee have access and editing rights to the log. That way, if you meet with your BT for a few minutes and you have time, you could go into their log and put it in there for them. That might help them, and I know they would appreciate that so much if you would help them stay on top of their mentor log. Ask questions. We were talking about that earlier. Ask them what's going on. Are they making their BT meetings? If they're lateral, we could really use your help with you asking questions about what's going on with your lateral status. Have you applied to a program yet? Do you know how to find the tests that you need to take on DPI's website? All that kind of stuff. If you're not sure, if you see some red flags, please, please, please reach out to us so that we can try to help you with this. But ask them what's going on. We don't want them to get overwhelmed and behind and not tell anybody because they're worried about how that might impact their evaluation or whatever. So just stay on top of what's going on with them. Ask lots of questions. Again, make sure they're making their BT meetings. Sit in with them if you can. I know you all are busy, but every once in a while, if you can sit in on a BT meeting, I know they'd love to have you there, and we would appreciate the support as well. All right. Here are the emails for the recruitment and retention staff right now. Carol's is the only one that has a number behind it. It's C. Blaylock2 at Harnett.K12, G. Griffin, C. Hatley, and A. Washington for the rest of the staff. Okay, so reach out to us if you have questions or if you need help. Finally, and this I'm real excited about this, we have a Google Classroom for all of the BTs in Harnett County Schools. Reach out to your BT and find out whether or not they have signed up for our Google Classroom. This will be a great way for us to all keep in touch and to get resources to the BTs. The class code is right there. And if you're having problems with the class code or whatever, if you'll let us know or the lead mentor at your site, we will manually add the teacher through a email invite or whatever we need to do to get them in the BT Central classroom. So that's going to be one of the new things that we're going to be offering for BTs this year. And we have lots of other things that we're putting together for you and your BTs. Okay, and now we have to talk about forms real quick. All right, so in staff pages and the staff intranet mentors, once you go into the staff links, you have to be logged into your Harnett.K12. Over here under the Human Resources section, beginning teachers would be of interest to you. I want to talk real quick about the checklist of requirements, okay, which Courtney Hatley has done a really nice job of trying to streamline this for us for simplicity. So you can see real quick the difference between the requirements for the BT 1, 2, and 3. It hasn't changed. The mentor contact hours for the logs and the meetings are still 10 hours per semester for BT1. So 20 hours total on their log that they're supposed to log with you or the lead mentor if need be. BT2s is still 7 and 7 for a total of 14. And BT3s is still 5 and 5 for a total of 10. And again, we're going to be turning in the logs digitally in January so that we can pace and help you with your pacing on that. And then as far as I know, it's still 6 of 8 meetings that the BTs, all of them, BT 1, 2, or 3, need to attend unless the principal has mandated that the BT attend all 8. Okay? And then down here, we have some information that you can go over. I'm not going to read to you, that you can go over at your leisure there. Okay, and so I'm going to go back real quick. Let's see if there's anything else here. Under the Lead Mentor tab, let's see. We have the Lead Mentor timeline. Forms, resources, and useful links right here. If you'll scroll down, some of these forms might be of interest to you. The voluntary acceptance form. It keeps wanting to log me into my personal email. Let's see if I can get in after I just see you have to be in the Harnett.K12. Voluntary acceptance is if your BT is going to be a coach of a sport or something like that, then they would need to fill out this form and have it signed by the principal. Now, this does not include like bus duty and morning duty and things like that. It's above and beyond what the regular teacher is assigned. If you have any questions, see your lead mentor. They can help you with that. And then if you'll help us also with the optimum conditions form. Again, I'm going to switch accounts real quick. It looks like this, optimum working conditions. We need to collect these. This and the voluntary acceptance are the only two forms that we're going to collect traditional paper, not digitally, because we need signatures on these, and we're going to go ahead and get these taken up pretty early in the school year. If you have any questions, reach out to your lead mentor or to one of us, one of the recruitment and retention coaches. We're real excited about working with you this year. I hope you guys have a great year, and we'll see you soon.